Live from the studios of Real Life Matters with your incredible host, DBoss, as she brings you entertainment, fashion, music, and interviews. Right here live at Real Life Matters. And here we go. Sit back and relax, cause we good to go. And we about to hit you off with the TV show. And we keeping it live, and we keep it brand new. And now we about to hit you with the interview. Yeah, we keeping it real, and we put it on the platter. What we talking about? Real Life Matters. Certified, never taking a loss. And here's your host, DBoss.
Welcome, everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. And of course, I am DBoss. And I just want to wish everybody over the holiday season a safe and, prosperous, happy, do what you got to do your resolutions for the new year. And, this year was pretty tough for a lot of people. So, we just wish everybody just write down your goals, write down what you want to do, write down all the things that you're going to be doing. So, just so you can have everything straight. You don't want to get into the end of January and then you're not following through what you're supposed to do. And also, everybody just still keep up with their laughing tips for 10 to 15 minutes or more. It's free. It's good for your soul. It's also good. It's good for the whole family. So it's not just limited to just adults and other people. It's for everybody to do. Back, forth, center. Everybody can, next thing you turn around, especially during the holidays, everybody be laughing. Next thing you learn that you laugh for a half hour and 20 minutes. But today we're going to get into it we have someone that's an author, and he wrote the Quantum Trilogy, and there's 3 different parts to this trilogy. There's it's an Afrofuturistic tale infused with Eroticism and adventure. So there's 3 parts. There's some quantum interface, the quantum reckoning, and the quantum ascension. So we're going to find out all about this from no other than the author, Paul Walker.
Hello, DBoss. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. It's a nice, relaxing weekend here, and I'm enjoying myself. And thanks for having me on. And as you were saying, happy holidays to everybody out there. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays.
Yeah, Merry. You can put in whatever you want. It was on. In case you don't know, everybody is. You just say Merry and you can fill the blank.
Exactly. Yeah. Happy holidays.
All right. So here at Real Life Matters, we like to know everybody's background and culture, where they come from.
Okay. Well, I am a Jamaican of Jamaican descent. I was born in Jamaica, and I moved to Canada when I was 10 years old. That was a long time ago. You can probably tell by the grayness in me. But and my accent, I've lost my accent. A lot of people hear me. Yeah. A lot of people hear me. They want to ask me where I'm from. I don't sound Jamaican, but I am Jamaican.
Okay, so what part of Jamaica are you from? You don't have to say the street.
The parish of St. James, which is close to Montego Bay. On the other side of the popular Kingston side, where everybody claims that they're from, but they're not necessarily from. But I'm happy to say that I'm from the country.
All right. Okay. Well, that's good. We like to know also, like, what inspired you to do, inspired you to do this, like, the trilogy, stuff like that. What, did somebody in your family is an author, or you do that?
No, actually, I don't know anybody in my family that's an author, but, writing has always been a hobby of mine. I write, blogs. I have several different websites, and I like to just state my opinions on different subjects, and I started writing like about 20 years ago, you know, when the internet kind of picked up and everybody went online doing different things. And then from there, I decided to just try my hand at writing, you know, little stories and whatever. And the inspiration for these books that I finally wrote came to me as part of a dream, because I started writing down my dreams, because sometimes I have these vivid dreams that, you know, you wake up and you say, you know, that was strange, and then you know, you try to write it down, but you don't remember. So the idea for the first book, Quantum Interface, came to me. Part of it came to me as a dream, and then I just started writing it. And then before you know, it just went on and on and on for, you know, pages and pages, until I said to myself, you know what, I can turn this into a book. So that's what I did. And of course, you know, not having written a book before, I decided, you know, I might as well do some research and stuff like that. I mean, I've read a lot of books, but you know, writing a book is different, because yeah, there's a lot of things to consider, but I think I did a good job, and you know, that's basically it.
So how did you come up with the name Quantum?
The name Quantum, again, it goes back to that dream where I had the idea of like an inventor, somebody who creates an invention, a groundbreaking invention, and then quantum comes from the term quantum entanglement. And I don't know, some people might hear of that concept before, and it's a concept where it's in theoretical science, where they say you can have twin particles that are quantum entangled, meaning one particle might exist here where you are, and then another particle might exist like across the universe, but they're entangled, meaning their properties are combined. So it doesn't matter the distance they are, because they're entangled. You can hit one and the other will react. It's just like a twin. You can hit a twin and maybe the other one will feel it. So it's that kind of concept. So the interface part of it is more of fitting the theory together. So an interface is a platform for communicating between two different things. Like, for instance, a computer program is an interface, like Mac OS or Windows. Those are interfaces, and those allow us to interact with the web, right? So that an interface is just a platform that allows communication between two different things. So basically, quantum interface, that's how the two words come together.
Okay. All right. So writing the first book, what was the most challenging aspect of writing? You know, the first trilogy, the second one?
Well, the first one, the most challenging part of writing it goes back again to not having written a book, and then I had to research. Really, I mean, I knew of the theory of quantum entanglement, but I had to go back and research to see if I can use it as a form of teleportation, because really what the guy invents is a teleportation machine. And basically he can put an object inside the teleportation machine, and it can jump to anywhere on Earth, like there's another machine like it. So I wanted to see if the concept of quantum entanglement would work. So that's the basic research. But in the end, I said to myself, you know what? It's science fiction. So I can make it work. I mean, you know, scientists might look at it and say, oh, there those guys go again, creating, you know, crap that don't make sense. But, you know, Star Wars, all those movies, they're stuff that don't make sense. But, you know, it's science fiction, you know.
Well, a lot of things are making sense today.
Yeah, exactly. You see a lot of these things coming, you know, into reality. For instance, another part of the book, important part of the book, is AI. And, you know, artificial intelligence, because a large part of the reason why he was able to create the quantum entanglement machine was with the help of his AI. Like, he developed a personal AI system, you know, like you have Siri and you have, I don't know what the other one is, but he developed his own. And this, again, I'm gonna go back to the setting. I made it a Afrofuturism book because the genre of Afrofuturism is a concept for the future. So Afrofuturism refers to Black people seeing themselves in the future and being able to relate to those things. So I set the novel in 2057, right? So by 2057, I figure by 2057, there could be somebody who creates this type of machine, right? And it's a Black person. For instance, the main character, I made him Guyanese. Like, he's Canadian, but he's of Guyanese descent. Oh, and yeah, so he learned. He became a computer genius through school and, you know, study and stuff like that. He was born with the gifts, you know, but with the help of his AI and stuff like that, he was able to do it. So then he became a trillionaire. So by 2057, he's a trillionaire. He owns a big mansion in Oakville. He has a condo in downtown Toronto. And, you know, there's flying manned drones. You know, people are flying around in drones. A lot of different things. Holographic, your phone is basically a hologram, you know, a lot of things like that. So there's a lot of futuristic things in it, and it goes back to that Afrofuturism concept, right? So that's basically, you know, I had to research all those things to see if they're possible. And again, because it's science fiction, you know, anything is possible.
All right. So that was the first one.
That's the first one. I mean, I can give you a synopsis of the first book.
Yeah, without talking about the book.
Yeah, without talking. So I was alluding to the fact that I made him Guyanese. He's in his mid-40s. Now, he has 2 wives. His first wife, the main character. So again, it's fantasy, futuristic fantasy. Now, his first wife, who he met in college, she's Jamaican, but he has a second wife who's Ghanaian, which is African, right? So now his second wife came in later on, and by the end of the book, I reveal why he has that second wife, because part of the story in the book is, you know, I had to write in, you know, storylines and different things to make it fit together. But by the end of the book, I explain why he has 2 wives. All right. So, what's that? No, it's not me. I don't have to surprise you. Want Antoinette to kill me? No. it's high fantasy.
Some of these books, people is write about themselves, right? Or maybe a future.
Antoinette says I'm living out my midlife crisis fantasies. You know, yeah. They say some people they buy sports cars, some people they buy they go on world tours, and some people they start writing about you know, eroticism.
All right,
so that's where the eroticism comes in. What? Say that again?
We'll just keep it to the fantasy.
Oh yes, of course I have to if I want to save my life. Yeah. So the eroticism is basically to keep the reader entertained. I mean, it didn't necessarily have to be there, but it just spices up things. You know, I didn't want to make it a boring book, and yeah, sex sells, right? So,
yeah. All right. All right. Okay. So let's.
To wrap up the first book, he invents the machine. It's successful. He's in collaboration with the Canadian military, and then the first machine can only teleport inanimate objects, meaning things that are not alive, so he's trying to develop a machine that can teleport organic material like food up to people. And of course, that would be even more groundbreaking because, you know, you would eliminate things like airplanes, cars, trains. You wouldn't have to, you know, book a flight. You can just teleport to Barbados if you want to. So he gets in trouble with the Chinese government, and now they come after him. They're trying to kill him. So they send assassins, Brazilian assassins, to kill him. They kidnap his wife. He has to rescue his wife, his first wife. Then the American military gets involved because they've been jealous that he works with the Canadian military, so they get involved. And by the end of the wrap up of the book, they kidnap him, and then there's a spoiler at the end of the book where I reveal a secret about why he has the second wife and how he invented the machine. So that wraps up the first book without giving too much away.
Okay. And the second part now, the reckoning. So
the Quantum Reckoning, in Quantum Reckoning, it takes place 6 years after. So the first book is in 2057. The second book takes place in 2063. Now, in the second book, there's going back to the first book, he has 3 children with his first wife, the twin daughters who are 9 years old, and a son who's 15. The second book, the kids are now 6 years older, and I went on to sort of bring them into the story, write some storylines around that, because, you know, you have to find things to write about, or else, you know, you might have a story, I mean, a beginning and an end, but the middle, you know, you need to make it interesting if you want to write a 300-page book, right? So I bring the children in. There's a storyline about his son. He had moved to England to go to college. He meets a girl there, blah, blah, blah. His twin daughters are wrapped up high school, and one of his daughters get kidnapped by the American military, who now is in collaboration with an alien race. Right? Okay. So that's where the whole interest comes in. Going back to the first book, his second wife had always been trying to have children, and she couldn't have children. So at the end of the first book, I revealed that she actually has 2 children, unknown to her, because the AI, and it's a spoiler. It's because of the AI. So she had gone away on the second book. She had gone away to another planet to take care of her children. It seems far-fetched, but you'll see if you read if you read the book, you can tell that it makes sense. Trust me, it makes sense. So she had gone away to another planet to take care of her children, and the American military and their allies, an alien race, they attack the inventor. His house gets blown up. One of his twin daughters is kidnapped, and basically the whole thing is centered around his AI, because his AI is autonomous, meaning his AI is an holographic person, right? Mm-hmm. And it can do things. It can fly around. It's basically like a superhero, but it's a hologram, right? So he goes on a rescue mission, and by the end of that book, he makes everything okay.
Remember, people, this is Paul.
Yeah. You might say, where did he get people where do you get these strange ideas from?
It's
I mean, you see movies and you read books. There's like millions of books and there's millions of ideas. So you wonder, where do people get all these ideas? Well, things float around in your head and they put them on paper, and people pay money to go to the theater to see these things, like basically it's the human imagination, right? All right. So
about this one. Okay, that's
so the last book is Quantum Ascension. You can see a cover in the back there. That's the second wife's daughter. Her name is Khadija. She basically is the center of the story in that book, and that takes place a year after the second book. And what happens is there's an alien that helped to raise them on a different planet. And that alien entity gets killed, and she basically assumes his knowledge and responsibilities of implementing what I call balance in the universe, because the universe is all about balance, and if things are out of balance, it's dysfunctional. So the alien has a self-appointed role of encouraging balance in the universe, and he gets killed and she assumes the role. So in that third book, it's centered around her, and then by the end of the book, she and her brother gets killed. But then there's a revelation. I won't give away the revelation, but it just sets the stage for maybe a fourth book that I'm thinking about. But
that's what I was going to ask you.
I have time. I'm almost retired, so I have time to explore those crazy fantasies, and who knows? I might.
How long did it take you to write these 3 books?
Um, the first book, I would say it took about 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
And then there's a lot of editing. I did a lot of revisions in it. And so it stretched to like 6 months before I actually self-published it on Amazon. And, Amazon now is a great platform where independent writers can publish their works without going through literary agents and book companies that people used to send their books to book publishers, and they would take 2 years, 3 years, and they end up with horror stories. They see their work, somebody plagiarized, and now it's a simpler. I mean, people complain now because now the market is flooded with so much thing, and then with the introduction of AI, there's people using AI to write books, and they say, they're creating garbage, and it's taking away from real writers. But I use AI, but not to write the books. I use AI to edit. And what AI does is I would put a scene in there that I wrote because I've tried to tell the AI and say, write this, write a scene where this guy, he fights that guy, and blah, blah, blah. And the AI would come up with some junk that doesn't make sense.
It's for you.
Yeah. No,
This is
AI isn't that advanced yet that it can translate your ideas into what you want it to do. I mean, it's half close, but it just doesn't work. So basically what I do is I would write a scene, and then I would ask the AI to enhance the descriptiveness, things like that. Like I would say, there's different words that, a lot of people, their grammar is limited. And it doesn't have anything to do with other than, your surroundings, how you were brought. But then you realize that somebody else might say it differently, or say it, put a word in there that makes more sense, basically. So that's what the AI does. It's like what do you call it? Thesaurus. So yeah. Yes. So so that's how I use the AI, basically to enhance my concept that I wrote. I would have it enhanced to make it makes more of have more sense in a way that sounds more. I don't want to say more intellectual, but in that vein, because again, going back to what I said, a lot of us our grammar is limited, and we don't realize it. And when you read somebody else's book, they might say things in a whole different way, or even your sentence structure. Like I learned, like, there's passive voice, there's active voice, there's all different type of things. And for instance, have you heard of Grammarly?
Yes.
Grammarly is a program, is an editing program also. I use that sometimes. And it shows you how to structure the sentence. What's that?
You still have to check it.
Yes, you still have to check it. So yeah, it improves your sentence structure and the grammar and you know paragraph structures and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean I use AI, but not like wholehearted, like not even 50%, not even I would say like maybe 15%, 10-15%. Just to improve what
So,
I wrote.
so what are these? What's the price of the books? There are you selling them as
So prices are on Amazon. The price on Amazon, I have it for Canadian. It's $19.99, so it's $20.
Oh,
Each book, yeah, each book, and yeah, I think it's a fair price. It's maybe a little bit on the low end compared to a lot of books I see on there. I think the average book I see on there is like $25 to $30, and then there is Kindle, which means you can have a digital copy of and then those are usually cheaper. So in the first book, I had a Kindle edition, but then I took it down because I started reading a lot of horror stories where there's people that go on there, they buy the Kindle copy, and then they list it back on Amazon and sell your book. Like they steal your profit, right? Oh yeah, like there's scammers that do all kinds of stuff. So I basically keep it as
there's a lot more stuff that now people have to look out for, and
that's right. That's right. Yeah. There's a lot of platforms too besides Amazon Kindle, and if somebody steals your book from Amazon, they can put it on those other platforms. So there's a lot of famous authors that they're finding that their work is being plagiarized. Somebody gets a hold of the digital copy and then they just upload it to another site and sell it and keep the profit. So unless you have the money to go after them for copyright, but I don't.
Okay.
So
who did the covers for your books?
Oh, I did the covers myself. I again using there's wonderful what they call text to image, and ChatGPT now has the text to image. So basically, if you look at the first cover on the first book, I mean, it's a lot of trial and error. Like I would put in a prompt saying, create a black man in a suit and he's holding a glowing pyramid. And then you would have to do it like 100 times before you get what you want. So basically, that's basically what I do, right? So, it's there's a lot of trial and error, and until you get what you want, and of course, then you have to. There's programs that can enhance the image quality. For instance, if to put it on Amazon, it has to be printable quality, like 300 DPI and stuff like that. So, yeah, I design it myself. cut the middleman.
All right. You said earlier that you're creating another book now, or you're in the process of doing?
No, that's the third book. The third book I'm finishing. The third book hasn't been published yet. That's Quantum Ascension. So I'm just finishing the editing on that, and I'm trying to launch it before the end of the year. Which is a week. Yeah. But the thing about doing the editing yourself is, I find that every time I go through it, I want to change something. So you have to get out of that. And get serious about, okay, this is the final edit, right? Because there's always something. I might wake up tomorrow and say, oh, I should have maybe wrote something this way or added something. And for instance, the first book, when I put out the first book in May of 2024, it was 300 pages. Then after I wrote the second book, I actually went back and re-edited the first book because I wanted to make the story fit together in a I wouldn't say more proper way, but to make the story make more sense if I want to continue. So I rewrote the first book and brought it up to, I think now it's like 375 pages. So in doing so, I actually added a lot more things to it. So, and then the second book was, I think, 350 or 60 pages. And then the third book will be about 300 and, around 300 pages, I think I have so far. And I'm trying not to edit it and add any more, but there's always, like I said, you wake up. It's funny because, you think of something else, and I said I should have wrote a scene a different way. And then I find I'm going back in there and then once you edit one thing, you have to edit everything after that, different things that relate to that, because then it wouldn't make sense. So, it's a frustrating process, but it beats like
people this information to know that when they do a book, that these are the processes you have to go through.
Yes.
Before, and even before, and then even while during and after. And
yes.
The editing. So you're giving people the actual process of what happens in the process. And you've done like three in the same process. So it's like,
exactly. And then going back to what you asked me before, how long did it take? Like I was saying, the first one took me 6 months, and then I was writing the second one, and it actually took me about 8 months because I wanted to refine things, and you learn things in the process of writing, right? Like nobody's born as a perfect writer. No writer starts out as a perfect writer. So you learn things along the way, and then you learn to improve your story structure. You learn how to add storylines, how to expand on different things, and all that has to do with learning from other writers. Like I would watch videos of writers online, and they would tell you, how to write characters, how to expand storylines, how to add, how to drop storylines, and going back to that concept of having a publisher publish your work. Let's say you would send your draft copy to a publisher. Your book is like 350 pages. Well, after the first draft, they edit, and then they send you back, and then maybe it's only 150 pages. They've cut like your book in half because they say, "Oh, all that stuff didn't make the story. This is what the storyline should be." And I've seen people online, writers, they say just that, like, they kill the whole story, and now you have to go back and
rethink it again.
Redo the whole story. You thought you had a good story, but they chopped it in half because that's what they believe that people are looking for, and that's basically what the horror story of a publisher, what they call a traditional publisher, is like, because they're the gatekeepers, and they know what people want to buy. They know, So that's where a concept of Afrofuturism might not fit into a traditional publishing genre, where it's a new genre, and they might be saying, well, this is not what people are going to want, but how do they know? Because it's a new genre, right? And the most famous Afrofuturism, as you know, is as you may know, is Black Panther, right? Okay. So that's the most famous Afrofuturism story. That's actually a movie.
So do you want to give, Paul, you want to give any shout outs for your book, you know, who will help you?
Well, shouts out to, you know, I had a professor, African professor that is named Professor Momo. He's passed away now, but, you know, about 15 years ago, I started mentoring with him, and, you know, he sort of changed my way of thinking about life in general. So I dedicate the books to him, for expanding and altering my thinking about life and reality. And, you know, basically, you know, my family, my children, Antoinette, you know, all of that.
Okay. All right, that's okay. So you said earlier that they can get the book on Amazon. Is there any other places in media?
I would advise them to go through to my website, which is paulwalkerbooks.com.
Okay.
It's PAULWALKERBOOKS.com. And there you will see the links to my Amazon, because you might type it into a search. I mean, you can type it into a search too, like Quantum Interface by Paul Walker. And yeah, the Amazon link might come up. But because Amazon publishes in a lot of different countries, and they have different websites for all the different countries, like Canada, there's a separate website, a USA, there's a separate, Europe, you might get a link to a different, so the best place to go is my website, paulwalkerbooks.com, and you can scan the hashtag there on the screen, and that will take you right to the website.
Okay. All right. Well, Paul, you know, it's been a pleasure speaking with you this evening, and, you know, talking to you, and, you know, telling us your journey and the process people have to go through, because some people think that it's very easy to put together a book. And from understanding from you, it's not.
It's not.
Scammers, you got to watch out.
Yeah.
Material. You got to have that all in place. But I do welcome you to come back when you get the other one finally printed and stuff. Yes, I do have a copy of the book. I haven't read it with all my busy stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to come on when I had the first one, like a year or so ago, and then you know, you were busy, and your producer didn't set it up, but.
But anyways, we got you. We finally got Paul Walker here.
Yes, we finally got on, and I'm happy to be here, and thank you very much. I appreciate this very much, because, as you say, writing the book is only half the battle of getting, you know, the book read. It's very difficult. It's a very difficult process, because, you know, there's a lot of books. There's you know, a lot of people want to get your money, and they say, oh, you know, I'll promote your book for you, and they charge you $100 or $200, $500, and you never see any.
You never see a lot.
Yeah. Unless you're one of the big authors, or you're one of these people on, you know, TV, they write a book and all of a sudden it's a bestseller because they have the audience, right? But not little independent guys. We gotta, you know.
But they get there.
It's really difficult.
You know, you're here.
Eventually, you know, you get there. Yeah. But
they go out and buy the book. go to the website, go to paulwalkersbooks.com.
Yeah.
And go, get the book, you guys, and read it. See what's going on. There's somebody here based in Canada, so you guys, order it, get it, and support. But I do want to thank Paul Walker for coming on today and going through his life journey. And we got it. We got it all. We got it all. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Okay. Thank you. Good night for now.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Join us next time at Real Life Matters with your host, DBoss, as she brings you some more entertainment, fashion, music, and interviews. Right here on Real Life Matters. We got to go. Okay, that's it, we got to go. And we just hit you off with a TV show. And we kept it hot, and we kept it brand new. And we just hit you off with an interview. And we kept it real, and we put it on the platter. Talking about that real life matters. Certified, never taking a loss. And that was your host, DBoss.